All right, everyone, we are live. Welcome to another episode of Reliance Real Estate Radio. I think we're on, what episode are we on, Jeff? Do you know? It's been a
And
while.
are we in the 30s?
Oh, we definitely are. We are in the 30s. We are on episode 34. I know it's been, I guess, quite some time since we've done one. We've actually been growing our business, but we felt that this is part of what we do, and we still need to give back and create content. So here we are, right?
Yeah, it's been quite some time. I know with the whole pandemic, we had to do a little mindset shift to tackle the new way of doing real estate.
Correct. Um, so swinging back into things, I know we always ask that if you find this, I guess, some value and you think you could share it, like it, comment on it, help us get it in the hands of other people that could use it, that'd be great. And, for sure, if you go on any of your podcast or video players of choice, whether it be YouTube, iTunes, wherever you're listening to it, leave us a 5-star review. The more we get, the more we reach, right?
Yeah, and we're here to bring value. It's really why we do it. Joe and I, we've learned a few things. And what do they say, Joe? Like the something about being the best teacher, right? If you're a master when you become the teacher.
Yeah, I know Matthew brings that up a lot, and I think that's really cool. He's our buyer agent. I think, I like to make I guess the way I always say it is if, you're going up the ladder and we're building a team and creating stuff, like I want to make sure that I can, bring someone up with me as well, if that makes
Yep,
sense. Right.
absolutely.
All right. So today our podcast is actually how you do anything is how you do everything. And that's again another good reason as to why we're here and doing what we're doing today, right?
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
we've also changed our format up a bit to be a little bit more relaxed, easygoing, but also bring that level 10 that you always knew us for. And hopefully we impact um, your day or
Yeah,
whatever.
more of like just talking instead of being a little less scripted, right?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I know we always like being prepared, right?
Yeah,
And I think we still are, but we're talking on points that more hit home to us. So, when it, as far as, how you do everything, right, is how you do anything. It kind of really comes down to like how you handle situations or challenges or experiences in your life, right? Um, I mean, Jeff, remember when we made the 5-minute funeral or the 5-second funeral podcast? That was a
yeah.
feedback.
What's that? I'm sorry. You.
Do you remember when we did the five
Yeah.
minute um, or 5-second funeral? Do you remember why we did that one?
Well, is it due to me uh getting angry over something and stressed out over something when I
Yeah.
really didn't need to? You know, I mean, the reason, if for people who don't know, the 5-second funeral is, hey, if you got some stress or anger or whatever it may be, I mean, you got to get it out either way. Take that moment to do it, whether it's 5 seconds, 5 minutes, whatever. Um, and yeah, I mean, it really helped. It's like once you get it done, then it's over, and that's when you take action to whatever that situation needs.
Yeah, and if you can start applying that little tidbit of information, and again, go back and watch that one or listen to it. Um, I mean, it helps you show up correctly in those areas. It shows that you can manage stress or a challenge, right? I know you've called me in the past and was like, hey, I really don't like that this changed. And I'm like, okay. And you kind of were like, get on the bandwagon. And I'm like, take your 5-minute funeral and deal with it. And you're like, okay. And, my wife's told me to do the same thing. Like, the kids are driving me nuts. And it's like, hey, why don't you just go take a break, take a breather, I'll take care of them. And I mean, and that's really what it is. It's like tag teaming, I guess you could say.
Hmm.
um,
Yeah.
but it's allowing yourself to really take in that's whatever's happening to you, and really process it, and then show up the correct way, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. And I also, how you do things is, I mean, there's two different ways, right? It's either you take initiative and you take on that change at what it may be. I mean, I think our biggest example this year is the coronavirus.
Mhm.
That was a very scary in the beginning when it first happened, and we could have just did nothing about it and kind of go our way of doing things. And we molded to how the industry changed in a way. I mean, we still need appointments, right?
I think we
I mean,
actually
even small businesses have changed, restaurants
I think
molded
we
to.
actually changed the industry alone. Like, I mean, just our company in general and real estate and how it works. I mean, we were on Zoom calls at 6:30 and 7 o'clock in the morning, and then hosting them at 9 o'clock with our market center.
Hmm.
And then taking those, and we were taking those to the granular level and actually having discussions about those within our team, and how to build it, and how
Yeah.
that looks, and how that works. And then we were adjusting what we do, and adding new things, and taking stuff away that we used to do, and um, having different conversations, and script practicing, and reaching out to people and just asking how they're doing.
Yeah.
So we do everything at level 10, I believe. We
Yeah.
really dive in and take control, right? So like here we were hit with coronavirus, and we were just like, well, let's pivot and shift, and let's figure this out, because people still need to buy, people still need to sell, and we still need to do business and help those people and bring value, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that you
Absolutely.
brought that up.
Um, I mean, how you do everything is I don't like to say how you survive, but it's how you grow, I would say, right? Because as we were talking, and we could have done nothing, and we probably wouldn't be where we're at today. We actually had our best year during the pandemic, and I think it's how we attacked the situation. We didn't stand by. We I mean, we do Zoom meetings with clients. I mean, even related to real estate, because I mean, for the people out there who are listening, just looking for motivation too. I mean, the small business owners, restaurants doing things outside during the summertime, pick up. So they molded to what happened, and instead of hoping that this clears off, they embraced what was happening, and took head on what they needed to do to continue to grow. So I think this topic is very important for people.
Yeah, I mean, think about all your different relationships, and other people, like you said, like other people that impact you, whether it be the guy that picks up your garbage, like what are they doing differently, right? And how are they showing up in your life? That one person on Facebook that always is negative, right? Or that one person that's always positive. Like, how do you show up with your
Hmm.
friends, your family, your coworkers, your team? And do you show up differently in all those areas? And it's okay to show up differently sometimes, because I can feel a little bit more relaxed around my wife or you guys as my team, but I still show up level 10 and lead my family and my team, right?
That's
Um,
another thing I wanted to mention is you spoke about leading. I mean, even for the leaders that are out there, other people are watching. Monkey see, monkey do, right? So, when you tackle other tasks or achievements or goals, the way that you show up is going to be looked at by other people. So make sure that you're doing things that you want other people under you to do.
and not even for other people, but for yourself as well. It's called
Yeah,
integrity, right?
yeah,
um, awesome. Yeah, I mean, and then when you break that down, like you just said, like, the integrity portion of it, people are watching you, or even just for yourself. Do you prepare for a meeting or you just show up and roll the dice and hope that you're gonna kind of like muddle your way through it like you did maybe in high school or whatever, right? Like, or do you prepare and take notes and do some research so you have some talking points and can articulate properly during the meeting your opinions and stuff? Or do you just show up and you're like, yeah, whatever, I'll just be here, I'll show up, I'm a warm body in the room, and that's great, right? Like, if that's the way you want to show up, you're going to show up there every other place in your life. So you're going to wonder, like, why is
Yep.
my marriage not the greatest? Why is my team failing? Why am I failing in my job, or just kind of ho hum doing a 9 to 5 and not building my dream that I wanted to do? Whereas if you prepared, maybe you're at the top of your game, or you're growing a business or a team, or you're going after what you want and starting that side hustle or whatever it may be, or your marriage is growing, or whatever. That's the difference, because you show up in those other spots, that's how you're going to show up here and there and there. And you can like the 8 equities of life, if you don't know what that is, you can research it. There's plenty of different areas, but you can take each one of those, and we do it as far as our business plan. But it's like, how do you show up in these areas? And we do it from a level from 1 to 10. Like, are you showing up at a level 5 or a 10? And it's okay if you're not 100% all the time, right? It's hard to juggle 8 different equities of life, right? But at least we look at them and we try to figure out, like, what can I do better then? And we have those reflections, which we're actually going to be doing in what, a week?
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even writing those things down, right? And then, you could put some more effort into the other areas that maybe you're not showing up level 10. And ultimately, if you work on that, I mean, life improves.
Right. Awesome. I think the other thing I kind of wanted to bring up is, we're talking about like how you show up, right? And showing up is now, right? It's in the
Yeah.
now. So a lot of people get stuck dwelling on the past, like, well, I did this really bad, or I wasn't really good at that. And they kind of build up those walls in that box, and they kind of tell a little story about themselves. Like, I'm not this kind of person, or I don't really do those kind of things. And you get stuck in the past, or you have the other people like, in the future I'll be really good, or I'll get there, or I'll be doing this, or one day I'll have that house. But it's like, I think you need to be in the moment and living in the now, and really working on what you can actually change, which is right now, creating your new future.
Yeah.
Not taking the past, learning from the past, failing forward from the past, learning from those mistakes. But if you show up now and you're present and you're in the moment, I think that's 100% of the game right there. Because if I'm on my phone, which it's going away because my background, but if I'm on my phone, and I'm not listening to my kids recital, or I'm not fully engaged in what I'm supposed to be doing at that meeting, like, I can't have that direct correlation or effect on my future, right? I can't show up properly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess we'd be code white, if you want to say that.
That kind of made me think of when you were saying, like, now is the time, right? If you want to make a change, like it reminds me of, people who, want to get healthy and work out and eat healthy. And they're always like, oh, it's Friday, I could start Monday. And
Right.
then Monday comes and it's the same thing, right? I mean, if you really want to make the change and it's Friday, I mean, heck, you could make a salad for dinner.
Right.
But I mean, my point is if there's something that you want to tackle, or a goal, why wait? Because if you're waiting, then it's just going to be prolonged when you could do something now about it, right? So it's just how you show up, and your mindset on what you want, and I guess find what motivates that goal. If it's, I want to eat healthy and have a fit body, I mean, what is it? Is it because you want to be at your kids or walk your daughter to the aisle because you're healthy, and you don't want a heart attack or something before that. So it's just how you it's how you figure out what motivates that goal and acting on it right away.
You need to link your goal to a tangible why.
Yeah.
A big
Yeah,
why.
exactly.
So, like, what did we do as a team? And instead of waiting for New Year's Eve to create our goals, what did we do? I don't know. I think it's roughly 20 some days ago now, 28 days ago, I believe.
What we do right now?
Well, not even 28 days. This is farther than that ago. Like we created a 66-day challenge, 60
Oh,
days
yeah.
prior to the New Year's.
Yeah.
And we've been actively working on it. Um, I know there were some big items that were popped in there, and it actually has changed our buyer agent's life. I already had one going and continuing. I'm on day 18 of my new 66 day, and then continuing the team 66 days long with that, but working out, which has considerably changed my health,
Mm-hmm.
and also my motivation, because even though I got up early, I'm getting up earlier and getting more done. So if
Yeah.
you can imagine that,
Well,
which,
see, I mean, that's correlating. How you do things is how you do everything. I mean, if you're consistent with working out, waking up early, I mean, that is going to bleed into the other attributes of your life, whether it's relationship or work related and things like that.
Mhm.
I mean, who is that? I know there was a podcast I think Joe Rogan did with Navy SEAL or something, and he talks about the first thing that you should do when you wake up is make your bed, because that's like a
Yeah.
successful little task that you did, as minimal as it is, right? But that sets you up for how you do everything during the day. And then when you go to shut your eyes and wake up for the next day, you come back to success, which is a made bed. As weird as that sounds, it's he's setting himself up for how he does things all day.
Yeah, you can actually look that up. It's on YouTube and it's really awesome to watch.
What's his name?
He's a U.S. Navy admiral, called William H. McRaven, which is like probably one of the coolest last names I've ever heard. I mean, McRaven, like he should have been not in the Navy, he should have been in the Air Force or something.
Yeah, I know, right?
Um, yeah, he said if you want to change the world, start off by making your bed every morning.
Yeah,
And that's really neat because that's something I've always done since I was little. And I don't know if that's why I have OCD or something like that, but
probably, probably. Yeah,
um,
it's you and one of my other friends. It's like everything has a certain place for it.
yeah, but I can always find it, man.
That's
I
right. Yeah,
know where it
yeah,
is. My wife's like,
exactly.
you remember seeing this in the refrigerator? I'm like, yeah, second shelf down in the back left behind the pickles. And she's like,
Right,
serious?
right.
But that's the way I show up. I've always showed up that way.
Hey, but now that you do that, I mean, work related, I mean, you're like particular about things.
Hmm.
I mean, our motto is a clear, precise, and professional,
Right.
right? If you didn't have that attribute,
Right.
we wouldn't be as precise as we are.
Right. That makes sense. Um, I'm just going to throw a bunch of words out there that I believe is
Lamp,
no, not like,
carpet.
okay.
Oh, I thought you were throwing words out.
Yeah. What do you think about when I say those? Redecorating?
Yeah.
Um,
Sorry.
no, like integrity, I think is one, right? For yourself. Hard work, passion, being passionate, right? Intentional in what you do, being purposeful in what you do, being fully engaged in the moment, being disciplined enough to make your bed in the morning, like
Mhm.
those things, being responsible, even as a parent or children, and being committed. So when you're there, you're actually 100% committed to whatever it is that you're doing. You signed up for it, or you're supposed to do it. It's part of your job, whatever it may be. You have to be 100% committed to doing it. You can't just kind of go in and maybe halfway do it or find the easy way out. Like actually do it, immerse yourself in that and do it, right? And you'll see benefits because like Jeff said before, well, you're doing that one thing and then that's going to show up and bleed into this part of your life and that part of your life. And all of a sudden those 8 equities are going to fill out and kind of even up. And then it'll be easier to get from level 5 to level 6 by focusing on one thing that you could do differently in each one of those areas, right? That
Absolutely.
one thing could even be the same thing. It could just be like, I'm just going to be more present and put my phone down while I'm out there,
Yeah.
and schedule time to be on my phone. Or, hey, I'm going to start putting everything into a calendar so I make it on time. and set
Yeah.
alarms or
Yeah.
reminders or whatever.
Well,
You
that's exactly what you were kind of touching on before, Joe, was with, the areas that may be improved. I mean, take those words, areas in your life, figure out what you're really good at and what you might need to be worked on. And then can you imagine if you did work on those things, the things that you do I will greatly improve.
Mhm. I take everything. So when I'm given a new challenge, let's say it's like right now we're trying to hire a couple people to add to our team, right? So I take that and I go, okay, as far as integrity and passion and being intentional about it, right? And engaged, how can I do all that with this new person that we're going to be bringing on? And then how can I add, like, so then I take that and I go, if I'm providing growth, is my vision big enough? And then how can I provide the most amount of value for that person, right? And that's really what I look at as a team lead and just as a visionary in general. Like, is my vision big enough? Because if it's not, like, I'm doing them a disservice, right? I'm not going to have enough stuff or enough for them to work with, and they're not going to feel fulfilled, right? And I'm not going to be fulfilling them. I'm not going to be I'm going to be held responsible for it, but I'm not giving them the responsibility, and I'm not being responsible enough as a business owner to be able to give that position, right? So I know me and you have a lot of behind the scenes conversations and masterminds and hours of intentional, purposeful engagement that we go on behind the scenes learning and plugging in the things that are being done by our team at Keller Williams for our office, even plugging into those and with our OP and our TL and learning from other people, models and systems, just so we can be at the level we need to be able to hire people and provide for them so
Mm,
they can provide for their family. You know what I mean? There's a
yeah.
lot that's involved there, right?
Yeah.
So we have to show up the best way possible, right? We
Yeah.
can't kind of wing it and hire somebody.
Well, I mean, if somebody would, I mean, that doesn't just affect the person hiring, it also affects the person that you are hiring,
Mm-hmm.
not me. It's
Right.
affecting their family, it's affecting the business.
Mm-hmm.
So the way that you do things is ultimately affecting not just yourself, but everything around you.
Which is why we don't just do a interview and hire somebody. We go through a basically 6 to 8 step process, which can take over a month to do just to see if that person's the right fit. But I'd rather
We may
do,
not even hire that person after.
we haven't.
Hmm.
We've taken 8 steps in almost a month and we've said, I'm sorry, you're not a good fit.
Yeah.
And that's the best thing though, because the process we take them through, which is called the KPA, it gives to them something, so they get to take away a lot from what we're going through, right? It's not just like we took 8 hours of their life away, like we actually gave back, and it's not just their life, but we gave them something back to use moving forward, and they had realizations and like, wow, this is really neat, and that's usually the feedback, right?
Yep.
But we do that on purpose, right? Because we want to be that level 10 and we want to make sure that we're going to be able to grow together, right?
Right. Exactly.
Cool. Anything else you want to add, Jeff? I kind of don't want these to be too much. I really want them to be something you could either
Yeah.
watch while you're working out, in between a business meeting, or after dinner quick, or something you could listen to maybe working out or in the car, or driving from an appointment or home or to work or wherever. So I kind of want to keep them under a certain amount. I don't
Yeah.
want
I,
long.
I think the only thing I have is um, just show up level 10 on everything that you do. Um, it will help you in your business life and your personal life. Um, yeah.
Awesome. Well, I hope you got value from this. If you did, share it, like it, comment on it, give us other ideas. I know we have probably like 50 more of these that we already have planned, but we definitely like to add more. If you want to hear something different, let us know. Obviously, tune into our Reliance Real Estate team page as well, where we did what did we do? The Gummy Bear Challenge last time. I think we have
Yeah.
a challenge coming up. We're definitely going to be out there a little bit more in the public eye, if you want to call it that. But we're definitely trying to bring some value back, because a lot of, we have a lot of people that place their trust in us, and we get to help them through the home buying or selling process. You can read our reviews on Google if you'd like.
Yeah.
We like to give back then at that point and just really try to bring some value to you. So again, leave a 5-star review if you liked it, and tune in next week. We'll have a new one uploaded by then. That's all I got.
Awesome.
All right.
Great podcast. Until the next one.
All right. Bye.